sort of card for you today. I've actually turned this into a card using acetate, and then I have a center section here that shows how to do a little bit of gradation with some glitter. So I'm going to show you the dies we'll be using, just two today. I'm using the intertwining circles from the mini striplets, which is going to be our background, and our sentiment comes from the expressions set called Bold Thank You. Okay, so I think I'll start right in on the background for this. I have gone ahead and cut 3 of the mini striplet with just the inner decorative cutting edge, not using the outside edge with it, and then I've backed it with a sticky adhesive sheet. Now, my first attempts at this were a little unsuccessful, so I thought that I would share with you what I did and why it didn't work. I wanted to put the glitters on, and I'm going to use a white, a silver chrome, and a gunmetal, and I thought I would be able to just blend them with my finger, but once the glitter hits the sticky sheet, it's stuck. So there is no blending. So I thought, what am I going to do? So this is what I've come up with, and I really like the way this works. So I'm going to bring in a piece of copy paper here, pop that on top. And on this far left side here, I'm just going to put a little bit of the Diamond Snow. Now this is the finest granule of all of our glitter jewels. So I'm going to go about halfway with this, about like that, and just work it on and into the sticky background there, excuse me. And now I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it into the lid of the container, okay? Bring that back over, and I'm going to use a little bit of the silver chrome with it. Just a tiny bit here. All right, and you'll have to adjust this depending on what you, what kind of results you get when you mix it. All right, so there is a tiny bit between the silver and the white. That looks pretty good. So now I'm going to blend this down the next section. Go a little bit over the edge here. Okay. And just bring that in like that. Tap this off. Okay, so you can see a little bit from the white into a pale silver. Okay. Now I'm going to pop that into there, and we can keep that for later. So next I'm going to use just the silver by itself. Put a little bit over here like that. Blend that into the edge, the backing of the edge there. Okay. Tap that off. And I'm going to use another lid. Put that extra bit in there. All right, and bring in the gunmetal and mix a tiny bit of the gunmetal in with that. There we go. Do a little bit of stirring. I think I want just a little bit more in there. Just enough to make it look slightly darker than the original. So you can check it to see if you think it's gone dark enough next to the color before it. I think I'm going to add a tiny bit more of the gunmetal here. See if I can just tap it in there. It's being difficult. Let's just put a little bit in like that. There we go. Mix a tiny bit more and check it. You want it to be darker, but not obviously as dark as the gunmetal itself. A little bit more. There we go. Tiny bit more. So it's easier to add a little bit extra each time and check it rather than put too much in. Okay, I think that should work. So I'm going to bring that back over, and I'm going to do the next little stripe here with that. Okay, blend that down. And you can even just do a little bit of fading out to the edge there. Okay. And we'll pop the extra bit back into the lid for that. Right, so now for the last little section, I'm going to bring in a fresh piece of copy paper underneath me. And we'll go straight to the gunmetal here. and just blend that across. And be sure to fill in all that area. There we go. Tip that back in, and that can go directly into the container. Now with these extra little bits, if you have some empty containers, it's perfect to keep that and you can use it later. I'll just set it all to the side at the moment, and let's just tidy up our mat a little bit and take off the extra bit. But you can see how that's got a nice, more subtle blending going across from the light to the medium silver all the way to the dark, and I love the way they do that. It's called an ombre effect, and I just think that's really, really pretty. So next thing I want to do is put that together with my card. So let me bring over my acetate. I already have it folded in half, so we'll go ahead and tape this onto the background with some double-sided tape. There we go. A couple pieces here. Give it a little bit of a black mat behind it. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to bring in a little bit of glue and just put ever so slightly down the edge here. And we're going to pop that into our folded piece of acetate, right into that corner. There we go. Give that a second. Now that glue will dry, but you might be able to see that a little bit, so I'm just going to bring in a tiny piece of white card to pop over the top of that. There we go. And then when that dries, you shouldn't be able to see anything there. There we go. Now I'm going to move forward to the sentiment. And let's cut the thank you. So the thank you comes with the inner thank you and then two rectangular dies around the edge you can use as frames. I'm going to use the larger one for this. Pop that into place. Use a little bit of tape around it and just center it. There we go. And run that through the grand caliper. Okay, we'll do a quick emboss on that. Swap that out with my tan matte and pink plate. Okay, and peel all of our tape back. Oops, there we go. So you can see you've got a nice bold thank you. And then what I've also done is I've gone ahead and I've cut the same thank you in black, and I've just offset it behind there, just ever so slightly, to act as a little shadow. Okay, so we will go ahead and put that onto our card on the front of the acetate. And I'm just going to use a tiny bit of double-sided tape here. There we go. And you can put this in the center, at the top, lower part, whatever you prefer. I'm going to just pop it right there. And if you don't want the tape to show, you could always cut another one of those frames and put it on the inside there. But there you are, super easy. And just a great card to send to anybody. I think this would work well for both guys and girls, and it does the trick, and I think it's so pretty.